It's 2022, and you know what I want to do? I want to tell everyone in Foxhole Nation, thank you for joining us as we kick off this year, having a great year with the KCMA podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people from all over the world, welcome back to the KCMA podcast, aka the Foxhole. Listen, this is what I would love for you to do if you could do this for me. Like, subscribe, share this podcast, and don't forget to leave comments below telling us what you like, what you don't like, all those good things, how you love our guests, and where you can get some more information about our guests and the wonderful podcast. So leave those comments. We respond to them. I love them when you leave those comments. Listen, if you want more information about the great things that are happening with all of our military members, their families, and anything connected to the military happening throughout the great bluegrass state of Kentucky, this is what I need you to do. Head on over to our website at kcma.ky.gov. Again, kcma.ky.gov. On there, you'll be given all the latest and greatest updates that you need to do what? Stay connected on all things military, all things Kentucky. You didn't think I forgot, did you? Because I didn't. Listen, this Foxhole podcast is designed to interview key people in the great bluegrass state of Kentucky who are helping military members and their family members do one thing and one thing only. And we're designed to do that, help them find success. We want them to succeed whether they are in the uniform or out of it. No matter what stage, age, or partition of your career that you may be in, we want this podcast to help take all that, boom, to the next level. We are creating content that help our Kentucky military members and their families do amazing things as far as their education, as far as their career, as far as even helping out other military members. That's what it's all about. We're brothers and sisters in arms, and we're just here to help our brothers and sisters in arms. Listen, in this podcast, there's 4 things that I always look forward to telling you about that I need you to do. One is I want you to stay engaged. So I make sure we have great guests every time we do this podcast. 2, I want you to stay motivated. Motivated about your career, motivated about your life, motivated about doing and learning something new. 3, I want you to stay educated. We want to make sure we are doing everything we can to make the greatest difference in your life. And the best way we think that happens is making sure you stay educated. And 4, we want you to be inspired to be your best and to do your best. There's no doubt about it. There's no substitute for it. When I was coaching sports, we had this quote: no one knows if you're giving 100%, but everyone knows when you're not. And we want you to give your 100% in everything you do. Why? Because we're going to do our very best on this Foxhole podcast to make sure what is happening. We keep it all things Kentucky, all things military. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on into our Foxhole podcast today so that we can learn some great things about being motivated, being educated, being inspired, and being engaged from our great guests today. Listen, we want you to join us, comment on us, leave notes, tell us what's going on, tell us you want to know where you can get more information, all those great things. So listen, let's head on into the Foxhole so that we can learn from today's great and amazing guest. Foxhole Nation, we are back. And listen, typically you either see me on the screen or one guest, but clearly your screen is not broken. Your computer is fine. This is the first time we've ever done multi-guests on the podcast and the KCMA podcast. So Foxhole Nation, your computers are fine. Everything is working beautifully. This is just the first time we've gone and done something so unique, so different, so awesome and amazing as this. So for those of you who don't know, clearly you can read. Hopefully many of you can. You'll see that we have, actually it's Lieutenant Jackie Zubiat.
Zubiata. Close enough.
Okay. Yeah. See, I'm already screwing up, messing up people's names. Dr. Jeff's son and Tom. Tom, are you a doctor as well?
No. No. I'm retired officer.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. There's only I tell people on the Foxhole. I tell Foxhole Nation there's only one service out there, and that is the U.S. Army. I feel sorry for the Navy and the Marines. I tell them you're allowed to make a mistake, and that was the one mistake they're allowed to make in life. So obviously, this podcast is going to be amazing today. So obviously, I wanted to introduce everyone here. So tell us a little bit about yourself before we get rocking and rolling and get into the nitty gritty of why we're here. So we'll start with ladies first. Jackie.
Yeah, hi, my name is Jackie Zubiathe. I am a second lieutenant in the Army National Guard. I am a 2123rd Transportation Officer in Richmond, Kentucky. I am from Riverside, California, but I have been in Kentucky for going on 7 years now.
That's amazing. Dr. Jeff Sun.
Yeah, my name is Jeff Stein. I'm a professor of higher education and also the Associate Dean for Innovation and Strategic Partnerships here at the College of Education and Human Development. I do not have a military background, but the reason why I'm here is I love working with the military and the projects that we have to give back to our country in that manner.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And then last but not least, we saved the best for last, retired officer or Tom Craig.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Well, so the reason I'm here is because of Jeff. So working with him is fantastic. But yeah, so I'm a retired officer, like I said, retired just almost 2 years now. Geez, yeah. So it's been about 2 years, and I had the pleasure of helping Jackie in her career up, when she got commissioned. I used to be out at UK's ROTC program before I retired, but then Jeff had in his good graces to let me on board at the University of Louisville, and so I've been working for him and with him, and it's been fantastic. And this C4 grant project that we're going to discuss today, and really excited to be here, Sean. I really appreciate the energy that you've got here too.
I love it. I love it. So listen, the questions we're going to ask, obviously it's a free for all. Answer them however you feel need. We're going to just kick back, relax, and enjoy the next 30 or so minutes. So let me ask everyone here this, right? What makes Kentucky a great state for military members, family, personnel, individuals, anyone? What makes Kentucky a great state?
I'll start here. I mean, I chose to retire here, for all these reasons, that hopefully we can hit on a few of them. But, Kentucky is, it really makes a great effort to welcome transitioning soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines as well. With programs like what U of L has, and Jeff has been behind a whole bunch of these things, like the Master Educator course for all ROTC folks across the United States. He put that together, and the C4 project here, which we're trying to target veterans, dependents, family members, and so forth that are transitioning, trying to make that career leap into cybersecurity or to advance in their career.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, to see things like I early on got introduced to the Kentucky Commission on Military Affairs when I was in our ROTC, and I was invited to come to one of the annual meetings there, and I saw that there was just there was just so much work being put into the military here in Kentucky, and the family members and National Guard and airmen as well. That it just, it was the right answer, for me, to be in a place that cared that much about the military and just kept striving, it seems to me, to try to do more. So they're not ever, from the top down, retirees and folks that are working here on active duty as well, just everybody kind of pulling the same direction to make Kentucky really a place to be for veterans, and you can kind of really feel that. And so had a lot of choices, in places to go, when I retired, and Kentucky hit all the marks there, and I was really, excited, and I'm glad to be here and staying, hopefully, as long as they'll let me.
Jackie, you want to chime in on that?
Yeah, I would just say, my experience, well, obviously I started my career in the military here, but I've just ran into people who are always willing to push me and help me grow within, whether it's my military career or my civilian career. But I've just had good experiences, ROTC, and, what U of L has to offer with the C4 project. And I know there's a lot of other universities and other programs out in Kentucky that are just, willing to help people.
I love it. Well, let's jump right into this, right? So, Jeff, we're going to give you the floor now, right? So, what is the C4 project, and why do you think this is important?
Yeah, the C4 project, you're probably like, what does that stand for even? Like C4. It's cybersecurity, certifications, careers, and communities. So it's our way of saying, hey, listen, we need to make sure that we're connecting with industry. So our faculty and staff connect with industry to sort of advance projects that are relevant to people. And in particular, we want it to be relevant to service members. So either transitioning service members or vets. Actually, they could be active duty as well. And our goal here is to educate them about cybersecurity so that they can think about careers that are available, and also thinking about how they can re-envision our communities looking at cybersecurity. By the way, I have one thing to say about Tom. Tom was like, so when we hired him, he was overseas at the time, and we reached out to him, and he was one of our top performers in this program called the Master Educator course. So he was one of the top ROTC instructors, actually he was a PMS, Professor of Military Science, at the University of Kentucky. And so he did so well that we said, we want to make sure that when we find out when he retires, that we reach out to him. And the second I found out he retired, I called him up and said, we want you to join our team. So, we have 1,000 of these individuals who graduate from the Master Educator course, and we have 1,000 amazing graduates. And fortunately, he brought on Jackie, who I didn't know before, as one of his former cadets.
I love it. I love it. So you mentioned a little bit about the Master Educator course. Do you want to explain a little bit more about that, Tom or Jeff?
Yeah, the Master Educator course is a project we have with the U.S. Army's Cadet Command, and it's working with senior ROTC programs around the country. So there's 275 programs around there, plus a bunch of about another 1,000 or so host institutions that sponsor ROTC programs. And what we do is we get to bring in a select group of them and teach them about higher education. They come in our program, they fly in, learn a little bit about higher education, learn how to teach better, then they go back to their campuses, and we help and coach them through as they're back on their campuses.
I love it. And so then so now we go, you possibly could be a mech. That's one way, obviously, we could recruit you in the C4. And then are there any other ways that we could get a service member, family, husband, wife, kid, whoever, into the C4 program outside of they didn't go through the mech program?
Well, so the good thing is that there's no prerequisites for this, right? So, when Dr. Sun put this together, he brought in a team, obviously, and he's very kind, but I'm just kind of pulling some strings here and there to put things together. When it comes down to it, this was a research project. A research, to look into the cyber skills gap, right? That's in the news everywhere. You've seen it. IT cyber, one of the fastest growing employment opportunities around, and it's just going to keep that way for all projections. And so, there was this big need, right? But the problem is that if there's a problem statement here, is what does the industry actually need? Because a lot of times it seemed like they don't even know. And so part of the project was take what's being advertised across the U.S. really, but focused on here on Kentucky, because that's what we wanted to help with the defense sector and these IT jobs and cybersecurity jobs here in Kentucky, and see what's actually being asked for, and then tie that to what the DoD standards are for IT. And then with all this from a perspective is that you've got all this really great intellectual energy coming out of the military, right? You got folks retiring, or you got people transitioning, or you've got people trying to advance in IT. And so the DoD knows this. KCMA sees this as an opportunity, and so this was the perfect time, to jump in there and see this. And from this research project, which shared on our website, you can go to. It's a gap analysis that was conducted last year, which the results we base this whole program on. But going back to your question, Sean, how do you get into this? Well, it's real simple. We've got Jackie set up Eventbrite, and she can talk about that, where we've got workshops set up, and these are certification preparation, like Dr. Sun was saying, certification preparation workshops to get you ready to take these certification exams. And all the research has shown that these exams, these certifications, are what the employers are looking for. That was part of the research project. What they're looking for are a certain amount of these, CompTIA Security Plus is one. EC
Mhm.
Council's Certified Ethical Hacker.
Mhm.
The Cisco's Certified Network Associate, CCNA. And so those are our foundational coursework that came back, from this research project. And so there is no prerequisite. There's no prerequisite, and not only that, but we want to have the widest berth of folks coming into this, because we see it as everybody needs some IT. Everybody needs some IT certification, some education, some training, because that's where the world's going. Period. I mean, that's it. So you're going to find yourself in this cycle obsolescence really quick if you're not, if you're not already. I mean, I had a hard enough time getting into this podcast, and so, I need to take some more of that, myself. Right? We could all use a little of that for sure, but in that,
Tom, I can sign you up for IT fundamentals if you need to.
I know, I know just the guy, and so what we did was, we're looking at these and we're saying, okay, the certification preparation, we've got these 6 to 12 week courses, depending on the type of certificate that it is. We're using digital platforms, the latest in blockchain type of platforms. We've got LinkedIn. Part of our, foundational coursework is you do these things on LinkedIn. We're going to teach you how to build a resume on LinkedIn as well, which if you don't have a digital resume, I mean, these days, forget about it, right? And so we put these things together in one package. And not only that, but the folks that we're using to do these live trainings, because every week you get a live training event with an industry expert. And when we say industry, we're talking about in the defense industry, actual, I mean, we've got signal warrant officers, we've got retired Air Force signal cyber techs. Those are the folks that are doing it, that are there working it now and have that knowledge about what's shaping the future. And so we've had great results, but it's because of those coaches that we have and they're doing it. And so there is no prerequisite. The barriers to entry are very low. But obviously, if you're going to try to jump into certified ethical hacker, you probably need a little bit of background before that. But we can help you with that as well, because Dr. Sun and his team has developed a diagnostic tool to help with that. And so we're trying to make this as easy as possible, right? But obviously, this stuff's not super easy, right? But the entry level, the barriers to entry, we're trying to take those away, and it's 100% online. What we've got right now, you can take it from anywhere in the world, and in fact, we do have folks taking it from all over the world. We're trying to keep it, a small amount, per week that you take in and actually cohort folks along with a group of classmates that you can work with, and it's all on a Microsoft platform. And so we're using Teams to do it, and so it's not even a traditional classroom, right? We're adding in the Microsoft piece to it by having our students do these things on Teams. And so we're trying to put all this together, and Microsoft and all these others that I've mentioned are the preferences of employers. Like they want someone, especially in the defense industry, that knows how to work on Microsoft platforms and use Microsoft tools and be certified by these major certifying bodies. And so it's all research connected. So we're real happy about it. And we've been doing it for a year now. And so we've had a lot of success, over 170 graduates now, Jackie.
Nice.
171.
Yeah, 171. And over how many classes have we had now?
I want to say 12, 13.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how long does it take someone to go from beginning to end? Because I know that was at the second C was certification. How long does it take to get that certification and that cybersecurity? Is we talking 6 weeks, 6 months, a year?
So as Tom said, each certification is a different duration, just depending on which one you're going for. So IT fundamentals, it's 6 weeks. And as we said, that is like your the first certification you want to go for, because it's your most basic certification. And then you would go to Security Plus, which is 12 weeks. And then CCNA, which is 6 weeks as well. And then CEH, which is 12 weeks.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you guys this. Anybody can answer this question, right? Because it all comes down to this at the end of the day. I go through C4, I put it on my resume, Tom. I have this digital resume out there on LinkedIn or Indeed or wherever we're at, Jeff. What am I who am I looking to land the job with? What is the job I'm looking to get? And then how much am I gonna make? Obviously no one knows that exact amount, but what are those round figures looking like?
Sure. Yeah. And I'm sure Jeff can jump in on this a little bit, but I'll tell you what, we are trying to get the widest berth of folks involved. Okay. That you have the certifications that are most preferred, right?
Mhm.
So you've got the requirements. Okay. So almost every, it seems, we've also found some gaps here too, but almost every one of these defense employers, okay, or IT cyber is looking for a few certain certifications, right? And so
Mhm.
there's some foundational ones, and the number one one that we have found is Security Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, but it's typically not an entry level certification. Okay.
Okay.
It takes a bit to get to that, which is why we offer CompTIA's IT fundamentals as well
Mhm.
for anybody, beginners, right? To help you figure out if that's something that you're even interested in doing. IT fundamentals is where to go. Okay,
Right.
IT fundamentals. It's not even listed as it's going to get you a job. I'm not going to tell you that, right?
Okay.
Because
Mhm.
first of all, you have to have some foundational coursework, and that's what it's meant to be, sort of like a boot camp in computers, right? And so from there, then there's other opportunities for growth. We have tracks, cybersecurity tracks, and so on. But yeah, I mean, just looking at recently averages for someone with Security Plus, and it's between 50 to 80,000
Nice.
to start,
Nice.
and many of them are remote. Now, what you also got to understand too is, and just to be completely transparent about things, if you have a Security Plus certification, these jobs also require experience, right? For the most part, and you're going to have about 2 years of experience, I think, for most of them. And then the thing is, you're probably, if you're out there looking, once you have it, you're going to start seeing some of these gaps
Right when
yourself.
it's getting good,
You're
it
good.
would.
I'm sorry. Oh, Sean, I think you froze up, but
Yep.
I'll continue here and just say that when you're looking at some of these jobs out there, you'll see some. What we found is some employers will be asking for CISSP or a really a supervisory type of certification for starting positions. And we found that that's going to be a real problem for some employers to fill that when someone coming out that has that already has 5 years of supervisory experience, and it's quite a difficult thing to tackle a CSIP certification
Mhm.
from Jump Street. Number one, you can't get it. You can't unless you've already had this experience. And so we've seen this gap with what employers are asking for. They kind of don't know what they're asking for to some degree, and so we're trying to address that as well, and
Right.
making our participants aware of those things. And then
Mhm.
it might be as easy as you send a note or something to them here, and say, hey, here's what I've got. But we've been working with some employers as well, and had some success with getting our graduates hired already here right in Louisville.
Love it. I love it. I love it. That's what it's all about. That's right. It's finding the gaps, addressing the gaps. That's what education is, right? We try something, we find a gap, we learn. Hopefully, we get better from it. So let me
Sean, you'll be really happy to know too is we've had individuals who we realize they have all these credentials, they have the background. What they don't have is a college degree. And so while employers may be looking at the certifications, which they do as an entry point, many of them to move on need the degree. And we've been sending them to the Bachelor of Science degree in Organizational Leadership and Learning because we know how flexible your program is.
Right.
With respect to prior learning assessment, giving them credit for their work in, let's say, in the military. And so also their training that they've done, coupled with the training they've done also in tech. So it's worked out really well. And that gives them lots of opportunities as well. that then leads them to management possibilities as well. And then as reinforcement for everything that they're learning too, while they're in our program, we have things like a capture the flag event, which we call card hacks after the Cardinals, so the Louisville Cardinals that we are. And then we also have a cyber range for them to sort of practice and get some more experience doing work in cyber.
Yeah, that was my next question. You know, what are some of the projects and programs that are connected to the C4 program project that can help military families, you know, try and test to see if their knowledge is working? So you said card hacks. That sounds pretty interesting. That also sounds pretty complicated. Can you make that a little more simple for a guy like me who has no hacking experience at all? But I've been hacked several times.
Yeah, so we have teams of folks who enter in. You could have a team that has a range of people, like someone who's really knowledgeable to someone who's just learning the area. And then so what they do is they have these problem sets that come up every hour or so, and they have to solve them. And so some of the solving that you're doing, by the way, is almost like risk assessment, but it's in technology, right? So think about the risk assessments that you do all the time. Like you go into a grocery store, or you're going to a football game, and you're doing risk assessments all the time. Now this is different because we're nesting it within technology and different things that you have to make decisions about. But conceptually, it's kind of the same thing. So you're looking at some of those same things. So we have actually a card hacks, and Jackie can probably tell you the date. I think it's coming up in a few weeks.
February 19th.
February 19th. There we go. So it's and there's still registration. We can still have more people register for this. I think we have like 37 folks already. And they're all around the world who are doing it. So and we have students. We even have people in K-12 who are doing it too. So we have families that are doing it. So and you think about ways to develop skill sets. You're working with your families, or coworkers, or your friends in the dorm rooms or whatever. That's what we're seeing as part of this Card Hacks event.
That's amazing. I definitely will drop that link below for Foxhole Nation so that they can see if, don't hack my stuff. Okay, I've been hacked like 3 times, so don't hack anything connected to me. Don't hack it, please. So Jackie, anything else? Clearly you seem to be the data analytics person over here. You know all the numbers. What else do we need to be aware of coming up?
Yeah, so upcoming, we do have workshops that are currently in the process. So, you know, the current workshops will be within their second week by the time this comes out. But we do have Security Plus coming up the 7th of March. That is a 12-week course, and it's $349. We have IT Fundamentals 6-week course coming up the 14th of March, and that's going to be $99. CCNA coming up the 14th of March. That's also going to be the 6-week course for $399. And then CEH, it's going to be April 25th, and that's going to be that 13-week course for $599.
Nice. So everything seems to be pretty affordable. It doesn't seem like you're breaking the bank. It seems like I'm going to get the certificate. I get some ability to learn from some other people, some industry professionals out there. So C4 seems like it's headed in the right direction. So let me ask you guys this question. What happens if it explodes? What happens if you get more students than what you can handle? What's going to happen, Jeff?
Well, that's a good problem, right? So we keep on growing. We'll just expand it. We have, thanks to Tom and Jackie, we have good networks of instructors, and we have more who can take on more. So I'm not worried about it at all exploding. In fact, I want it to explode because it just means that also if we get good economies of scale, maybe we can lower the prices or we can do other things. So I'm excited about growth.
Yeah, I mean, you know, right here, you know, we have made a conscious decision that we're working really hard to move Kentucky to be from military friendly to military ready. And by military ready, we just mean when a soldier or service member or their family member, when they're ready to retire, and they want to make Kentucky their home, right? We want to make sure that they have everything they need to make sure that they can have the success in their career, with their family, their life, and everything they want to do. That's the only way we get to be military ready. Obviously, there are a lot of other hurdles and barriers we have to jump, but I think this is definitely one that both family members, you know, whether they're the military spouse, whether it's the child, like again, because there's no real barrier to entry. If you have a knack for learning IT, you think you want to learn IT, you want to take the next step, this is the program, this is the process, this is where you want to be. I know, Tom, I from my understanding, you were at the other school in Kentucky, and I feel sorry for you, but you're at the right school now. And so good things are going to come, I promise. Good things are going to come. So
thanks, Sean.
It's just a friendly jab, right? Just a friendly jab. So here on the KCMA podcast, Foxhole Nation, we always know we go through sniper round. So sniper round is I got 5 questions. I'm going to ask you just say the first thing that comes to your mind. Obviously, we can do a round robin style here. So is everyone ready for the sniper round? And I see that Tom has his gear in the background, so he's clearly ready for sniper round. All right, here we go. Targets coming up, knock them down. All right, second round. What are some of your best memories working with military personnel? Clearly, if you were in the military, Tom, you'll have probably a different answer to this question. But
Yeah, my first one is I have no good memories. No, absolutely not. You can see Jackie right here. She's one of the, she's one of the, proteges here of one of my best assignments was being able to commission officers into the military. Had a really great time doing that and got to commission over, I think it was 130 when I was done. So
nice. Jeff?
Yeah, I have great memories. So working with the military from the first time, working on what's known as the cadre and faculty development program we had, is I got to learn things like task conditions and standards or some basic things about leadership. So I became a better leader. So, and not to mention some funny stories I've had, which I won't share on this podcast, of things that I've learned from the soldiers as well too. So great experiences.
Jackie, what you got?
Yeah, I would just say, I want to say it's always my FTX moments, even though it's always the embrace the suck and sleeping outside and it could be raining or whatnot. But, as Jeff said, there's always some good memories coming out of those days. And those are always the best afterwards, though. But
yeah. FTX, yeah. I have no good memories of an FTX. I was either in the blazing hot sun in the Florida swamp somewhere or freezing my behind off somewhere in Alaska or upper Minnesota. Anyway, sorry, I know the program's a year old, but what are some of your best memories so far connected to the C4?
I would say going to lunch with these two right here. We don't get to see each other as often, but the time that we were together, we got to kind of hang out, just chit chat a little bit and just have Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A, nice.
We go high class here with this group.
Spare no expense.
And that's why Jackie's hired, because she's very easy to please.
There you go.
You gotta do anything.
Great answer.
Yeah, absolutely. I was able to hire on some really great officers and some NCOs there that were either transitioning themselves in their career, and moving on, and being able to help them. Well, they were helping me, so it's very selfish, right? But being part of the C4 project, but then being able to help them too with their transition. I've had some really great conversations with the team that we've got working for us here at the university, and they're super excited and they want to continue to be a part of the university and higher education. So those are things that they had never thought about before, and they've been sharing the news wildly. I actually get lots of emails from folks wanting to join the team. So I hope that we do explode after this podcast, Sean, because I can hire a whole bunch more.
Oh, definitely. We're gonna push it on all our channels and avenues, and we have a lot of people that watch this from around the state of Kentucky. So I'm actually thrilled and excited. So hopefully we can definitely use our platform to push the C4 project to get as many people engaged and learn more or inquire more about it. I think that's where it starts too, just an inquiry. Like some people just I struggle to turn the computer on, and you want me to learn, earn a certificate? Okay. All right. So my next question is this, sniper round question number 3. Here we go. Right. What has been your favorite professional development training connected to C4 outside of eating Chick-fil-A with these two, Jackie? Professional development is critical.
Yeah. I would say just kind of building the connections with those different people and different military bases.
Mm-hmm.
In the beginning, that kind of was, something that I was struggling with personally. And then we did get a mass email sent out to every single Army associated person, talking about the registrants. So we had to kind of catch up on that, but just kind of make connections with other states. We do have connections with California now, bases in California, bases in Kentucky, and then bases, Jersey and now Indiana. So
nice.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Anything? Anybody else got some good professional development things going on out there?
Okay, so IT fundamentals for me is the best thing that we do, and I'm going to tell you why. Because it's giving you the basics so you understand everything about how things work, right? But in addition to that, it builds confidence in our students, and they feel good, and they're like, wow, I can do this. I can really do this. I'm going to go on to the next one. Jackie, sign me up. So I'm excited about how IT fundamentals builds that confidence.
That's amazing. That's great, because that was my biggest thing that I think our audience would. So I'm glad you actually said that, Jeff, because I think our audience it sounds like fun, it sounds cool, it sounds exciting, but like you said, they probably just don't have that confidence. So now that we know there's a class that builds that confidence, who knows? I may sign my name up, probably not, but I'll try.
I can sign you up right now, Sean, if you let me do it. So you just let me know.
Hey, we had to register and take 3 workshops already, so he's still going. Yeah.
Let me think about that. Maybe it'll prevent me from getting hacked. How about that? So if I can prevent myself from getting hacked. So let me ask you guys this. Great question. This is the last question for Sniper. If you could do C4 all over again, I know it's not a perfect program, although it is being perfected as we speak. If you could do it all over again, what would you do different, if anything? Oh, that's a great answer. I stumped everybody.
Yes.
Yeah. So if I could do it over again, it would be to do it without a pandemic happening, because that's been kind of a problem. Lots of work's been done. Obviously, a horrible situation that everyone's had to go through. I'm just glad we're even able to do it
Right.
in the middle of it. And of course, I think that's probably a lot of people's thoughts, during this time when it comes to it. So, but besides that, which are obviously that's just kind of a huge thing, we're pretty happy with how it's gone so far.
I love it.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I love it. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean that anything it's gone terribly wrong or whatever. We always also question I always like to ask just about a career, a program, a project that we got going on rolled out in the great state of Kentucky.
Yeah, I know.
Jeff?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, Tom and Jackie have been amazing, and I mean, there are a few people who I'm always impressed by, and Tom and Jackie consistently hit it out of the park. I am so glad. I wish I had gotten them earlier. So
nice. Maybe there's a pay bump connected to that somewhere along the way. Maybe.
Doubtful.
Well, we had a meeting yesterday, and I made it very clear to them that I didn't want to let go of them. So please don't leave.
Chick-fil-A for everybody.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
That's what it takes. You will have it delivered to you.
Oh. So I've taken up enough of you guys' time today, but before we get out of here today, I always give all of our guests an opportunity to shout out an organization that's on their mind, something that's in front of their mind. It could be military connected, it could not be military connected, it could be the U of L, could not be the U of L. Doesn't matter. Just what organization out there that would you like to highlight and give a shout out to today?
I'm going to have to say University of Louisville. This institution has been extremely supportive of the military, and I'm so happy to be employed here.
Sweet. Tom, anybody? Everybody sticking with the U of L?
KCMA, working with Dr. Kratzer on this has been fantastic. Even though he's an Air Force guy, I mean, I can still, I thought that was going to be real rough dealing with the Air Force guy, but he's okay. He's all right, dude.
Right. Jackie?
Go Dodgers. No, I'm just kidding. I agree with Tom and Jeff. KCMA and U of L together as a whole, even the OLL program.
Oh yeah. Who doesn't love the OLL program, right?
Exactly.
So anyway, last thing before we go. Final thought. What do you hope our listeners get out of the podcast today? Hopefully it's just signing up for C4. But if there's anything we missed, what do you guys hope they're getting out of it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I hope everybody walks away knowing that Kentucky cares about technology as a base, particularly cybersecurity as a home, and then is very supportive of military.
Love it.
Yeah, check out the card hacks coming up. I probably took the words out of Jackie's mouth there on it, but card hacks competition 19 February. Like Jeff said, high school teams jump on in. We got cash money prizes. That's what we didn't say. And we got a lot, and that's typically that's what people, there's no entry fee and you can win cash money.
Love it. Jackie?
Exactly. Yeah, I would just say take advantage, of what the C4 has to offer, not even just us as a program, but as U of L as a university as a whole. They do offer a lot. So take a look at it.
There it is right there, Foxhole Nation. You've heard it from the mouths of Dr. Sun, Tom, and Lieutenant Jackie. I'm not gonna mess up your last name again, so I'm just gonna call you Lieutenant Jackie, right? So there we go. Foxhole Nation, sign up for C4. Look for us we're gonna put all the information in our address box below. Check out C4, sign up for the program. At worst case scenario, go and take, what's the entry level course again, Dr. Sun?
IT fundamentals.
Take IT fundamentals. Let's see if we can do something that no other assistants have. Let's see if we can break the bank. Let's see if we can go get them. Let's see what's a good number. Let's see if we can get 50 people from KCMA that watch and listen to the podcast to sign up for the C4 IT fundamentals course. Let's go, Foxhole Nation. It's in your yard right now. All right, guys. Thank you for joining the KCMA podcast today. Listen, I hope you guys have a great day, and thank you for being a part of the podcast.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys were amazing. Keep up the great work.
Boom. That's all I can say about today's guest. Listen, C4 project and program participants, I thank you for that amazing Foxhole podcast. Oh my gosh, can you believe all the things that are happening around cybersecurity, about all the things that's happening at the University of Louisville? Listen, I need all our military members and their family members and anyone connected to them. I need you to go out there, go to the webpage, sign up for the C4 project at the University of Louisville. Listen, they're doing some amazing things and we want you to be a part of it. I want you to take your career to the next level. Tech is taking over the world. We all know that. And this program at this institution is doing something that can help change your life, your career, and even your income status along the way. And that's what it's all about. Why? Because we made the promise at KCMA that on this podcast, we're gonna do what? Keep it all things Kentucky, keep it all things military. And I think we hit the home run on that one. The other thing we always try to do is there's 4 things I mentioned in the beginning that I wanna do. I want you to be engaged, I want you to be motivated, I want you to be educated, and I want you to be inspired. Check, 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 and check. We did it all. Double check. We did it all. We made sure that this podcast, as we started out 2022, was going to do all those things just for you. Listen, I want to hear from you. I want to learn more about and hear more about some things and some people you want invited on this podcast. You can contact me at sean.owens@ky.gov. Again, that's SHAUN.OWENS@ky.gov. It's right there below. Listen, send me an email and let me know who you like, what you like, and who you want on this podcast. I'm interested and I want to hear from you. Listen, every day, every way, all the time, I'm interested in wanting to make sure we're taking our content and our guests that can help you take everything to the next level. Life, love, career, happiness, no matter what, this is what this podcast is designed for you to do. Our military members and their family members, we're here for you. We want to do great things for you, and this podcast is just the beginning of those things. So listen, you've heard me say it all 2021, and you're gonna hear me say it again in 2022, as every time I end the podcast. Why? Because I really do want this above and beyond all things else. I want you to, 1, stay safe, and 2, I want you to have a great day.